Hey, friends. I am here to do a quick flip through of this journal so that I can then put it to the side and actually do the Christmas card thing that I'm supposed to be doing because I am behind. So imagine that, running behind at Christmas. Quick flip through of that. If you come on while I'm flipping through, I will say hi to you in a second after that, just because I want to do the flip through in a way that I can crop that out and make a short with it so that Bee Happy Stationary can share it so she can show people how cool her kit is. So it is a kit that I think, hold on, let me zoom in just a teeny hair. Oh, too much, too close, a little too close. There we go. I think that's as square as we're going to get. All right. So, hi, Tina. 2 seconds. I'll flip through this and then we can talk crap. All right. So, this is from Bee Happy Stationary on Ko-fi. Coffee. And I made it out of junk mail. So how to flip through a flip through is always a trick because there's too many options. So opens like this. And then it flips like this. I have blinged out all of the pages. Then this back, if you flip to the back side, it does this. And we have this little girl in here with some writing, journaling space. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm going to put something back there so when you take her out, it's still pretty. Another journaling card. Reindeer made the lights all shiny. Adorable fox. More journaling cards. This one, these are tags. I made some ribbon to go on this one, but didn't do it yet. These are little pom-poms, and I dyed half of them so that when it's closed, it looks like it's two-tone, but they're just two separate. And another one of those deer. 2 pockets with more journaling space. Oh, sorry. There she is. Journaling space. The cutest raccoon in history. A little quote from Robert Frost. Here's the trick with flippy flappies. Did we miss anything? I don't think so. I think that's it. So, and then, so this can be the front or this can be the front. So I decorated this part a little extra. Also, hold on. Did you see this, Tina? How did I miss this page? So this little tuck spot, little belly band, and then this is that lace that you sent me. So I will also probably throw some writable paper on there, but I liked the bling. So, if you wanted to put it in like this, you could, but then you miss it hanging out the side. So I liked it hanging out. It's extra flippy that way. Floppy, flippy, flappy. Thank you, Tina. All right, now we can go on with our bad selves. And I can say, hi, Cindy. Sorry, I was not saying hi to people while I was doing the flip through so that I could crop it out, make a short, and I wasn't like stopping to yap because I do that a lot. All right. If my brain worked, what was the next thing I was going to do? Oh, I waited a whole day to open a box with you guys. How patient am I? I'm not, by the way, if you're curious whether I'm patient or not. Hey, look, there's my stand, my pretty little cardboard stand for my, here. Mercy. It's not annoying at all. Box life. Stuff falling over. So I had plans to do some cards that were with a shaker, and I have the dies and the stamp set and the whole thing. And I can find the stamp set and the little bubbles, but I can't find the shaker bits or the dies. So after I'm done today, I'm going to do a little bit of a cleanup, which I did a small cleanup, but it wasn't enough to find that stuff. And part of it is that I have so much. Christmas is my favorite, like, holiday. Like, I love all the chaos. Normally, I'm not as much about the chaos, but at Christmas, I am. I'm over here doxing myself. So there's not much exciting in here, just so everybody knows. There was a sale on useful items, but not so much fun items. That one and that one. When I get this stuff out, we'll see if it's as bad as it looks for. So yeah, here's how exciting my life is. I got new blades for my trimmer because I murder them all the time. Some glue, because let's be honest about what we do at Christmas. We use a lot of glue. Cute bling. So, and those are real red and white adhesive backed peppermints. A catalog I'm not allowed to show you the inside of because it doesn't come out until January. I'm sorry. That makes me a bad person, but that's the rules. Them's the rules, people. And then look. And my silly butt is over here on my camera where I adjusted and I cannot see you guys chatting. You could be telling me that I'm out of focus or that you've left the building. Hi, Queen. What did you order? Yeah, like 24 hours, Tina, of not opening a box. How impressive is that? But look. And one of the people on one of the groups took this and then they basically stamped it on white paper and then watercolored the horses and stuff. And it looked like its own designer paper. So I'm going to be playing with that. I'm always excited when there's horse stamps. So if your birthday's in January, you're probably going to get a card with a horse stamp on it. FYI. Oh, I'll have to see. Do you have that on your channel? And then I got this, which is, it's just aspen trees. And then it has the little leafies to add to it and branches. I don't know how you tell an aspen from a birch. So if you want to call them birches, do it. But this I thought would be a fun background stamp and would work like if you used it like a light, if you had tea dyed paper and then added to it. But so there are those. And then I bought 2 new trimmers. Why 2 new trimmers? Because one is going to stay in the box and be new for a while. But the box, this is going to make a nice journal, this box. So I will open the new. I'm going to be so excited because my trimmer, which I bought secondhand, so I have never owned a new Stampin' Up! Trimmer. Look at it. It still has the little plastic over the letters and stuff, which I'll leave on for a little while. But look at all, there's no glue or anything on it. Okay. My old one is, it still works amazingly. I literally just put a new blade on it. You can buy replacement blades, even the scoring blade, but it's, the glue boogies will come off too. But at some point before I got it, I don't even know if you can see it. Somebody dropped it, and so there's a crack here. So sometimes when you're using it, the blade comes off, which it's not the end of the world. It goes right back in. But this one shouldn't do that. Which I do know people, if you try to open it without holding on to, like if you pull it like this, that tweaks this angle. So I always open it from the bottom, so I'm not, or top. You can't see the bottom. So these ends have little grippers, so you aren't tweaking this track. But this will go in my Go box, which if you don't have a Go box, it's like if you're going to be someplace and you know you're going to want to cut paper, or say you're going to Scrapbook Expo or something, you take this. So this will replace the big clunky one that's currently in my Go box. So anyway, there's that. So I will put that to the side to put in my Go box. If I had to actually get rid of it, I would be unduly sad because I got it. Like I said, I got it off Marketplace. I got actually 2 packages of blades, just so everybody's clear. Because if I'm in like a big, especially if you cut, if you use a trimmer, keep your old blade, like an old blade, and mark it for glitter paper and dumb stuff, because I don't usually remember to switch it. And that's how I murder blades. Oh, have you not had one of these trimmers before? All of my other trimmers just sit and think sad thoughts now because this one is my friend. Let's see. She needs a name, guys. I'll use my label maker and give when she has a name, and we'll give it to her. I love my trimmer, and I'm glad I got a second one. So she goes right there where I can look at her at all times. Sorry, I'm a child. Oh, that's awesome. You'll love it, love it, love it. I should name it Vicky, or your name is Vicky. I'm probably not going to name it Vicky because it's the kid's grandma's name, so then people would be very confused. One of their grandmas. So these are Days Like This, Memories and More card pack. And they make these, they're kind of like those Project Life cards. So that's what they're originally for. I buy them if they're on sale because this is a quick way to make cards. Like a quick way to make cards. Ripper. Shredder. And put the, was Shredder from... These are upside down. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Am I correct in thinking that's why? Are some of them right? Okay, this is like when people put money in the drawer wrong. I cannot. Has to all be facing the same way, people. But so, you back these on some and throw them on a card and you've got cards. Stamp a sentiment. Ta-da. These tend to, I believe these are, let me measure. 4x6 is what I'm going to guess they are. Yep. 4x6. So you would have to trim these to put them on the front of a A2 card, or mat them and put them on a 5x7 card. So I like them because they're relatively inexpensive. And, when you're like, oh, crap. Like, so Monday, I would not make a card with this for my brother, but my brother's birthday is Monday. I don't have a card for him. So this is obviously meant for journaling. We could use those in a journal, or this pattern side is not as necessary. Hi, Jess. Did you get your package? If, right? I guess you could. That's true. So that's cool. And this, you could almost like die cut the center out and flip it, and then you would have those butterflies and that sentiment. All right, Jess, if you got your package, is there a pack of paper missing? Is that the question? I'm horrible with email, by the way. Because I was cleaning my craft room and there's a pack of paper that I'm pretty sure was supposed to be in your box. Okay. I will ship it to you. I just set it aside and went, I think I stole Jess's pad of paper. It's sitting, I have like a place that I put stuff I ship. It's still sitting over there. Because it's because I had 2 of the boxes and I had apparently just thrown it in the other box when I was throwing them on the floor after I opened them. And I'm like, no, I already opened this packet. I shouldn't have one that's unopened. So my apologies. I'm a slacker. It is what it is. But I will ship it to you, and I will ship it Monday, and I'll do priority or whatever gets it there fastest, since it's Christmas paper and you probably want it. Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I need to message her. And then again, I'm horrible with email. because I get, you know, you get all the, especially this time of year, everybody who you've ever given your email address suddenly wants to bother you this time of year. So now I need to figure out where I'm going to put these that I don't lose them when it gets warmer out and I want to use them. All right. So I want to work on these. And I have these to add some journals too. But this is My Porch Prints. And these we cut up and turn into little, so this is to put like a secret note. I think I'm going to make them so that they're basically gift card holders slash ornaments for trees. So once I like this, I'll probably put a bunch of bling on, and that way when it's on the tree like these, it'll shine. And then at some point we have to do those little tiny journals, but everybody voted for clusters, which, the other day I finally got smart, and instead of just trying to wing it, I went and watched Tracy's video about her own clusters. Who knew that you should just watch the video? And she had backed them on, where the heck? I don't know if I should stop drinking or take up drinking because I can't find anything. Okay. I'll find them later. But the clusters, I backed them on cardstock, which is what she was doing. And then I was overthinking it and not wanting to cover stuff up with other stuff. And she basically just is like, back them, ink them, and slam them together and don't overthink it. And I did. And I was pretty happy with the couple I made. And if you could see them, you would also be happy. But oh, has anybody found these at the Dollar Tree? Because I did. And they're supposed to be resin, but it's mica powder. So I feel like, yes, Jess, they're digitals from My Porch Prints. And I think she has some stuff on sale this week. She had a great sale before Thanksgiving, and some freebies, but I think her freebies stay free on any thing she lists on her. Like if it's listed as a freebie on her YouTube, it stays free. But I think these mica powders, I think we can mix them into other stuff. And so we're going to be playing with that because they were $1, I don't know, $1.25 or $1.50. Happy Trim. Queen Bee is not going to be happy till she has a name. Hi, Julia. Anyway, mica powders. And if I love them, I'm probably going to go wipe out their store and then I can share them with people. All right. So with these, I do not remember what they cost. They were on sale that week, which is how I buy most of my things. I'm a tightwad. I like to get more bang for my buck. Oh, one more. If only my doctor would give me ADHD meds, we wouldn't have this problem. Can you see these? So they're hearts and little like sprinkles and tiny envelopes. So they're shaker bits. You also, obviously, if you were feeling funky, could, glue them on the front of something as a, and I don't remember, here, let me side eye the catalog without you guys seeing it. Let's see what they're called so it's easier. Loose Valentine Assortment. Page 31. So it comes in as part of a bundle. I don't know what doesn't look like. There's an embossing folder. Loose pieces, bubble bath ribbon. I don't, oh, it looks like they glued them on some stuff and then they made little envelopes and put it in it so that it falls out in people's houses. That is how you get stabbed. I have some stuff that I can make shakers with, and they do make acetate sheets. So I would be thinking heart-shaped punch and acid making for the tops. I would not be putting those where they would fly loose in people's homes. Why? My computer does that, pops up an ad, and then I can't see what you guys. Okay. Which one do we do first, guys? We have poinsettias with what appears to be cookies. No, I hope those aren't cookies because they look real dry. Not cookies. And candy cane gingerbread man. You used to send people loose glitter? You're a bad person, Tina. I hope that's not what you mean. By the way, if you guys don't know, I know Tina. I feel like I know Tina well enough to tell her she's a bad person because she knows I'm joking. It's funny. You hadn't even voted yet, and I was grabbing the candy cane one because it was the closest. I would have switched if we needed to, but I do the rough cut first anyway, so just chop these suckers out. Who did you sign up under for Stampin' Up, Vicky? I know Juju signed up and a whole bunch of people signed up during the big to-do. I signed up last January because they had an otter set that I had just had to have. Actually, I loved it so much I bought 2 sets of the paper. That's how much I loved it. Confetti and glitter. Guys, remind me when she sends me a package next time to open it outside. I would say I've saved money being a Stampin' Up demo, but what I really mean is I've spent a lot of money being a Stampin' Up demo because I think I've sold a total to somebody else besides me like $60 worth of stuff. But I made it to silver on my purchases for myself. It might be a problem. To think, I tried to invite you to go on a trip with me and you're threatening glitter people. There is ink on that, so sorry, I'm making sure. I know I had an ink pad out and I was making sure it wasn't just floating around open or something. Yeah, I was telling you about that trip and it was funny because we stayed at a pretty decent hotel a couple blocks from the show the first few days, and then we stayed a couple extra days to visit with my cousins. And they're my dad's. They were my father's cousins and her kids. So they're people that I didn't feel like comfortable being like, we're staying at your house. But we stayed closer to their house and we found this hotel and it's like, it's cheap as chips because it's not very modern and it's, you know, they have a comedy night or whatever downstairs at the bar, but it looks like there's a lot of people that live there. Like that's where they live full time. And it's just not fancy, but it was perfect and clean. And it was like a third of the price of the other ones. So I like a deal. We've established that though. I can't wait, Vicky, to hear how much you like the trimmer. I'm assuming you've watched enough videos of people using it to know all the tricks and stuff with it, because the fact that the scoring is right there. Like I have multiple different scoring tools and it's all I use. Like it's that, or I just get out a piece of cushion and a ruler. I don't get my scoring board out hardly at all. And I love that when it's closed, it's exactly 6 inches. So if you're cutting 6-inch stuff, you can just slide it in there and almost not think about it. And by God, I bought all my stuff the day they did it because I knew everybody was complaining that stuff sold out. I'm like, how do you not understand how this works? They're not like a mega corporation where they have 6 warehouses. They're a single, entity with a small. So when they run out, they run out. They have to reorder from the manufacturers. Hi, Fire Horse. Oh, yuck. Although I'm pretty good at late at night. My energy is pretty good late at night, but it is 4:15 here. I have to sort of get in my head what your guys' hours are because I'm doing the Junk Journal January UK. I'm set up for a couple days and I have like deadlines and they're all in UK time. And I need to be paying attention to what that is. What I'll probably do is just consider myself the deadline 24 hours ahead because as a slacker, I need to push myself. You're a mixed media artist. So what all do you make? I will do pretty much like anything you like. If you're like, hey, it'd be cool if we learned to weave. All right. And I buy a loom. That's how I am. I look for Bee Happy and found a, yes, it's on a Ko-Fi. It is, I can, let me see if I can link it up in the, Tina, do you know how to look up links and stuff so you can share them or no? And she'll be releasing the January kit really soon. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to paste this and then I'm going to make you a mod. If you promise not to throw glitter at people in here, which means then you can share stuff. There you go. You get double the pay I get, which is $0, by the way. So I shared it, but then I just made you, I believe it made you. Did it make you? Yeah. You're a moderator now, Tina, which means if somebody asks something like that and you can jump off, go get the link and then put it in while I still scissor. Okay. I watched a video the other day about how to get our my Cricut to make full size stuff like this, full sized, and still cut it out. And I need to figure that out, like how to download this into an app that'll let me do that because my lazy is currently kicking in and those corners are I'm not getting the corners round enough for my liking. They do give you a nice little kiss cut that's it's not the same white, so it looks good so that you don't have to be perfect with cutting, but so today I groomed a dog who was not my regular client's regular dog. So it's his dog's litter mate and it belongs to a sister-in-law or some such thing like that. And he told me the dog sometimes was aggressive and I'm like, okay, so I was prepared and the whole grooming, the dog was really pretty good, kind of anxious, but really pretty good. And then like I'm sitting eating lunch waiting for them to pick up and I'm sharing food with this dog and he's fine. And my dog's on the left side of my chair and this dog's on the right side. switch that. Anyway, on either side of my chair is a dog eating their snacks. And then Pete, that's the dog I was grooming, decides he's going to go play with one of Tommy's toys. And he has a toy and he's throwing it around. And then Tommy just walks over near him and he starts growling. So I go to take the toy because, that's what you do when kids are not playing nicely, is you take away the toys. And he growls at me. And I was like, now I see he has a resource guarding issue. And so he will have no resources but it's not, he wasn't that way about food, but the toy, and it was like, he meant it. It was not like a, haha, please don't touch my toy. It was all the teeth showing. And I'm like, I don't think so. So he goes, I told you he would, because he said he tells people that he's like that sometimes, and then they don't see it and they think he's just, being dramatic. Hi, Ellen. I'm here. Oh, crap. Somebody tell Debbie I'm on. Hold on. I'll message her because she could be mad if she's someplace else and not over here. She wouldn't actually be mad, people. Don't worry. Okay. Doesn't say she's active, but at least we'll let her know. All right. So this is the final thing to trim, and this is just another layer. And because of the layering thing I was doing with Tracy's stuff, I think I'm actually going to do that with this because I really did like the way that affected how it layered up and looked. And since the idea of, although I kind of want to print a second one and just raise up this part, because that would obviously be the, what do you call it? The thing keeps you from burning your hand on the cup. So this is like this, where it's not just this part because this is a tuck. So I just changed my mind again. I can't layer it up. I'm going to put it on here like this, but I may print another one of these and put it on here, and that way it's another height layer. So this, I think I have all the parts together. I'm going to use this because it's sitting here, and hopefully, because I'm used to using my glue press, I don't go crazy and squeeze too much glue out. So it's going to seem weird because I'm closing up the top. When I watched the how-to on this one, I just sort of watched it while I was waiting for clients today, and she started to do this part, and I'm like, what are you doing? How are we going to put anything in there? But you'll see in just a sec. We take that off there. So go around the edge towards the edge. And again, this is from My Porch Prints, which is on Etsy, and she's on here and she'll have freebies and sales and all sorts of cool stuff. So close it up. Oh, yep. Used to the glue press. Look, I just got glue everywhere. I'm glad it's smushed out and not into where we need the thing to go in. Hi, Debbie. Debbie, Queen Bee is Vicky. Vicky, who's your mama, is basically a neighbor around here, and is Debbie. So there. I wouldn't tell you that if she doesn't share it herself. And I immediately knew we were neighbors because I also am a Hoosier. Stupid glue. So I still buy this glue. I generally put it in my glue press, but I was being lazy. So, and I'm just trimming where there's like an overlap. I could probably also ink this, but I can see the paper from the back side and I don't like it. Okay, guys. Registration. Are you talking to me? All right, so this seemed weird, and I assume we could do it with scissors, but we're just going to cut right along where the red is. The first cut on my new trimmer. Oh, okay. Not talking to me. It's fine. Make sure this part opens up. Don't go crazy and warp it or anything, but just make sure it opens. And then this part we're going to open. Because we're going to slide our little note in there. Now, I didn't pay attention to how far down we should stuff the note, so I'm going to do this. Stay open. That's what I'm going to do. Set it in there and then poke it in like that. So I will actually just put, I'm going to put glue at the very top so I don't accidentally glue the dang thing shut, because things like that would absolutely happen to me. It's a little bit on the back here. Come on. And then put this on. So anybody doing anything fun this weekend? My sister's moving in, but she's also got her grandson's birthday, and so she's off doing that instead of doing all the moving. She got carpet for her loft area, and she's apparently got somebody coming to install that Monday. So she'll officially move in to the tiny home Monday. Like I said, I really do think I'm going to print this page again and print this off, because I'm going to put another one across there just so I can lift it, like raise it up. So this goes in here. And I don't want to loosen this up too much because, like I said, I want to give them as like put gift cards. I don't know if a gift card will fit all the way in there, but like you could put money in it for sure. But then if I bling it up enough, I think that could easily hang on the Christmas tree. And I would put it so that the back here, the hanger is on the outside, not on the lid. That way, as this is in, out, in, out. Crying smooth, cutting tears. Right? So her name's Jackie the Ripper. Is that her new name? You're going to be with your daughter. You said she woke up, Julia. I'm sorry. I had no clue that had happened until this morning. I was completely out of the loop. So I am real quick going to put some, where is my bling? So here's all my other bling, the things that I don't want. But my Nuvo drops, the stuff, I mean, I used it all over this. All over my Flippy Flappy is the Nuvo glaze. And but it's still not right here on my desk. Because why would it be? Not in that drawer. Not up there. So, and I keep thinking I see it because it has the same kind of lid as this glue and this glue. Aha. Ah. I put it up, guys. She seemed to have any neurological effects. Do you know yet, Julia? And is she aware of what happened, or some people wake up and don't remember the whole incident? So it looks a little hazy right there, but that will dry clear, and then the berries will be all shiny. And do I do the whole candy cane or just the reds, or how dare you, Tina, get behind? No rules, girlfriend, no rules. I haven't done any of Defember because I've been doing other stuff, and it has fallen by the waist. I was just like, I don't have the emotional. I don't have the space. I have to finish some Christmas cards. It's on my list. I can always go back and do the prompts later. I also am not following all the, okay, there was glue on my mat. Thank God that's silicone. And I might find a piece of ribbon to put over the ribbon here, put actual ribbon on it. It is a home print. I believe some of the shops will send you like printed, so you are in the UK. My Porch Prints is US based. So if you print at home, check their stuff out too. Tracy Fox is near you. And her kits, I believe she has a print and ship to you option. You would not want that option here. Also, I don't know what you have available there, but here, you can literally print at your library. And also office supply stores will sometimes do printing. So, and I think since I have these, when the card itself dries, which I just set to the side over here, I will put some of these around the part that says candy canes, because why not? Honestly, I should have bought 10 packages of these because I kind of love them. And I'll put that. You go over here and do not leak on your friends. Thank you. So I might do this one real quick. If I start to annoy you, you want me to switch gears, I will, because that's what the beauty of ADHD is. I also love that she tries to put stuff on this, print this on cardstock. She recommends if you buy her full kits, because these are some of her papers too. And I bought an all blue Christmas kit but that these, it doesn't say you could print them on what to print them on, because you could print these on paper since you're going to glue them onto something, but I already had cardstock in the printer and I wasn't about to play. How long has she been out, Julia? Again, anytime it's not my business to tell me eat a bug, and I won't actually eat a bug, but I will shut my hole. So for what it's worth, if things turn out that she has a traumatic brain injury or anything like that, Tina and I are both here. Cindy's husband has a traumatic brain injury. Cindy and I have a son with special needs, and she has a grandson with special needs. So you have more people around you than you realize. Oh, mercy. Yeah, that's a while. Was it medically induced, or was it just she was in a coma? It is so hard when you have, like, my daughter is only 15 and she has anxiety and stuff. And I worry because when she takes her meds, I think she's better, but she says sometimes she doesn't feel anything. And I think it's just because she's not used to any kind of quiet in her brain. And I'm like, please always take your meds because you're going to need them. Oh, you were a caregiver, Ellen, as well? I'm telling you, it's interesting that I feel like crafters, sometimes we craft because it's how we cope. Sometimes it's because we have seen some shit in our lives, and you know, we making cards and stuff brings joy to other people. So even if our lives have been hard, I enjoy making other people smile. So I have found a lot of really cool people in this community, and it's strangely a cool group. I will let Julia answer that question. And it can be a hard thing because, depending on your life history and whatever, you have people who say something like, that I don't know, like people routinely said about Duncan that, no matter how hard his life here what was here, he would have a special place in heaven. And I was just like, well, that is not at all helpful to me or him at this time. So just, can you not, please, and thank you. Yeah, and watch they have a YouTube channel, and they have lots of cool kits, and it's a variation. I think that's what I like is, some people they have a very distinct style, and like she has an Emily Dickinson kit. She has I downloaded, it's called the Yummy Blue Christmas kit, and I can hold on. I'll send a page of it to my printer so I have an excuse to show it to you. Back and select a file. Do you guys want to see the envelopes or the ephemera or the journal pages? I also have Yummy Vintage Christmas. Blue or vintage? ADHD, especially in girls, gets diagnosed as anxiety. So with Lily, we actually treated her ADHD first, and then the anxiety actually became more obvious. Thank you, Tina. Kung Fu chop them if they don't. Okay, ephemera. The red kit or the blue kit? I feel like blue is what Jess is going to say based on Blue Room Crafts being her name. I could be wrong. The Christmas ball. I'm a child, by the way. I have people skills, so I pay attention to strange things like blue room crafts. Either your room just happens to be blue, or it's blue because you like it. I'm making sure there's paper in my printer. It's going to be your guys' fault I don't get any Christmas cards done. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. I actually was thinking for some people, these could double as Christmas cards, ornaments, all of it. Julia, did you ever answer Cindy's question? And if the answer is you didn't answer because you don't want to, then that is also fine. I just didn't know if you had seen she had asked. I think so for my daughter, it was her ADHD had been a problem for a long time. I did not give birth to Lillian. And I would say she probably was born with a delay. Well, I mean, obviously but by the time I met her, she was 4 and didn't know her alphabet. So we spent a while being like, well, let's just play catch up. And then it became clear that she would get, like we'd be doing popcorn words is what they call them now, but sight words. And she would just lose it and start crying. And it would be completely impossible to get anything done. So it took years for me to convince my husband that we needed to do something outside of what the school was willing to do. Because the school would be like, well, we tested her, and while she struggles in this area, she doesn't do this because like she doesn't speak like somebody with a delay, because I don't talk stupidly to even Duncan, who's mentally 3, uses words like heinous because I have never spoken to him like he was stupid. And I have not tolerated other people doing it either. Yes. Hello, lurkers. I think that's the most lurkers I've ever had. Either that or we're being raided. I hear the printer going. It says it's on page 3 of 7, so it'll be a second, guys. It is a good printer, but I had to balance have a good printer, but not the fastest of the good printers because I couldn't afford the fastest and the goodest. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, and autism and ADHD can go hand in hand. There's actually some new stuff out there about, for some people, like the genetics of autism, and that it is linked to our Neanderthal DNA, which we all have it. It's a matter of how much, and apparently there is a link, and that probably what we consider, like some people consider a disability, was a necessary part of living through what they lived through. And they did tend to have smaller groups. They didn't live in large groups like we do, like larger communities. It's an interesting whole thing, but that's a completely different conversation. Juju, where the frick have you been? Oh, sorry. We're over here talking Stampin' Up! And you weren't here. Uh-oh. My printer's throwing crap. It's heard it hit the floor. I find when it's cardstock, the paper tray doesn't always hold because when it flings it out that last little bit, it just too much weight and it just goes. It's okay. Dog hair is part of my crafting supplies. So everybody should feel really bad for my horses right now since they escaped the other day. They have been in the small paddock and they are pouting. And I tried to have a conversation with them about staying in their field and they said no, so they're still in the small paddock. And before anybody calls 911, I didn't actually hear the horses talk. They whinny, but they do not actually talk. Your Happy Meal. Oh, the Happy Meal. Oh my gosh. I was all excited. I thought we were having a Happy Meal. Cindy, thanks a lot. Actually, I was really sad today. I actually went by McDonald's because the other day I got Duncan one of those Grinch meals because I wanted the socks for him and he loved them. And I was like hoping I would get a different pair of the Grinch socks. They're out already. It didn't even last like a week. Yes, Mr. Ed is a lot. Well, I guess it would be probably, it's Ember who talks a lot. So it'd be Mrs. Ed. Mrs. Edwina. Oh, it's still on 5. It's thrown another paper on the floor, but I can't be bothered going and chasing it. Well, you might check to see if yours still has any in stock. Juju, I got a new trimmer, and we just named her Jackie the Ripper, which hopefully she's not ripping so much as cutting. Oh, I'm going to glue this first because I feel like it's a disaster if I don't. I said hi to Juju a second ago. I said, where the heck had she been? I meant like, where had she been my whole life more than like today? Because I forget what I messaged her about the other day, but then like 3 hours later, she finally saw my message. Slacker. Was napping. I covered for you the other night though, because my live ran over, and then that's the night you slept in, so it worked out. Yeah, I get a lot of socks for the kids at for holidays at Dollar Tree because the holiday socks, I don't reckon they're going to wear them out. Because, well, Lily might. Actually, no, she won't. She'll leave them in the kitchen, and I'll get mad and throw them away, and then I have to get her different socks. But seasonal socks, I'm not as worried about it. Excuse Adler is telling Tom that he needs to go out to pee, so there may be barking for a minute, and if Tom gets up and lets him out, it'll stop. The only time Adler barks that if he doesn't need something, it's because it's a storm or something. So I don't think it's supposed to storm. So Adler's a squirrel bait, but he's a sweet squirrel bait. Boy, I feel like a second grader with my trimming skills here. The funny part of that whole horse thing, I've posted 2 or 3 videos of my horses, and one of them was obviously before Rain passed away. It'd be weird to be riding her after that, but me riding Rain, and that one got something like 1,200 views. It's a short, and I'm like, what in the heck? So it's possible that you guys will be occasionally bombarded with videos of horses, because if it gets, if of those 1,000 people, 4 of them are crafters and stay, then we do what we got to do, right? Oh, so my dog barking is helping you feel safe and secure. It's very thoughtful of him. Yesterday we were driving, and I was like, said to my husband, I'm like, do you hear that noise? And well, he was driving, and he goes, yeah, but I thought it was because he hears, uh-oh, my printer ran out of paper. Be right back. Okay, I'll go back for that page in a second. Yes, it's also whether, like, you can't stand if your socks are crinkled or anything. I just almost set those right on top of those things that were drying over there. All right, that's glued on. That's trimmed. I'm a child who obviously has no supervision too. Not just a child, but a supervisorless child. Right? Horses and crafts, it could be a thing. Well, you know, I would consider when it's nice out sitting outside and crafting with the horses, but I'm positive that Ember, because she thinks she's a golden retriever, would knock me down or something while I was crafting, which probably would get me views. But then it'd be crafting from the ER, which is less fun. Like, Ember has no clue at all that she is a horse. She was a very sick little baby, so she spent time at the vet hospital, and then she came home and had to have bandage changes and the whole thing. So I might, because I'm a junk journaler and that's how I think, I might actually put some like cardstock on the back of that so it's pretty. And then we tuck our, I hope these aren't cookies, into here. Anybody know what these are supposed to be if they're not supposed to be cookies? I mean, they're still pretty. I hope they're not cookies because they're burnt. So I don't know what on this I would bling up, but I'm going to see if I can make it so I just print these. I don't want to have to print the whole thing again just to get another of these. So do not touch the other one because it's drying. All right, let me go grab that last piece of paper and I'll show you this other kit. All right, well, it had a bad attitude because I changed its paper, so I'll have to reprint this page. So let's see if there's anything good on that page that we need to be stressed about. So it is these, I don't think any of those are things that we can't live without seeing. But, oh, these, they're Fiskars. They're probably still second in line to favorites of these as far as cutting ability, but these are longer, so I like that more. And then I have these weensy ones, which don't cut very well, but are really cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Is Lynn out of the hospital? What's going on with her? I was in when Pam talked about it this morning. So anything beyond that, I don't know what else has happened. So here are some of these ephemera pages. these look like, that looks like it's meant to be like a tiny little, like you glue that on the inside of this, and then that's kind of cool. Look, I can go back and do the December bold numbers. So this is like one of 5 sections of the that kit. Like there's the pages, the junk journal pages. Maybe it's, hold on. We have 8 pages of the Yummy Blue vertical pages. Oh no, they're vertical and horizontal. So background pages, etc. Envelopes and pockets. And they're made to wrap around the edge of pages and use as tucks, or cut and use as tucks or belly bands, etc. They really do think of everything. And then 12 pages of the actual journal pages. Mother, well, you're just going to have to look at them sideways, I guess. So yeah, I would say those other pages, I would print these on regular paper and then do the other pages on the backs of them. So it's an entire kit. You print it, and technically you wouldn't have to add anything to it, but I probably would. Yeah, so I got this because my sister Bonnie loves blue, and so I figured even if I didn't make her a full journal, if I made a couple of things for her, I also have a set of cards that I'm going to make her for her to give to people through the year. But just this. And I have, this is from them. Oh, here, you guys have to see the silly thing. I made my first attempt at making my own stamp the other night. And all I had was a knife. So it didn't turn out as well as if I'd have had like carving tools. Yeah. Broke her wrist and then she had a heart attack. You know, I have to say though, that sometimes I think that kind of thing, like at least she was at a hospital, and that if the heart attack was something that would have happened, I just haven't heard if she's back out of the hospital or anything yet. So this is my file of papers from my porch prints. Like these are freebies that she gave out. And my camera's not doing any justice to the colors because these are like burgundies and greens and. Oh my God, you're having Starburst without me. Are they the Dollar Tree ones? Because then if so, I don't care. It's the real ones I like. And I like the new ones, the little tiny ones. Yeah, Heel Canine. Yeah. And these I printed one set of, but I have a feeling that this is, I'm going to cut a bunch of these out to add to my journals. I'm going to need a bigger file. I just started doing this because I'm like, I end up with stuff and then I don't remember who I got it from and I don't know where to go look for the file to print more or whatever. So. Bird just hit my house. Which today at my shop, I had to stop what I was doing and rescue a bird that had somehow gotten up in the eaves and then between my insulation and like the drop ceiling. And so now it's someplace in my shop because it went and hid. Those papers are from My Porch Prints. Tina with Ink and Page. I've looked at her stuff. It's gorgeous too. I have some of her kits in my stuff, but I haven't printed them because I have so much. My problem is I could print Christmas stuff every day and work on Christmas stuff all year. But if I never printed another thing, I would still not be done with all the Christmas stuff I need to do. I mean, like all the stuff I already have. Oh, or is Tina talking about Ink and Page? Oh, yeah. Never mind. I'm apparently missing a memo and I'm back on top chat again. Why does it not just assume you want to know what people are talking about? Share, if you want to share the link to her Etsy page, that's fine, or to her YouTube channel, Tina, since you're now a famous person. That's a lot of times what I do is, and that's why I want it when I print some of the stuff, I put it in a file like that, because then if I know, then at least I know which place to look for it. Especially if I buy it off Etsy, I can also delete it off of my phone or my computer, wherever I put it, because I can always go to Etsy and re-download it. I really prefer if people have something off of Etsy. Like if somebody has Ko-Fi and Etsy and you have the choice, buy it from their Ko-Fi, because Ko-Fi does not take as much money as Etsy does. And yeah, I went to do an Etsy thing just so I was going to sell some of my extra junk, and like they wanted $30 for me to just sign up to sell stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. And it was like, by the time I figured out, like if I'm selling like a junk journal starter kit for $9, and then I have to give them a base amount and a percentage, and I'm like, it's not even worth it. Yeah, I've been watching some of her. Is it okay? You sent me two different people. Ink and Page. Is she got the winter, the purpley one? Is that the one she's? Because I'm in love with it. You sent me two, and I'm following both of them, but as discussed, my brain not always on point. The neighbors are Winter's Heart Day. Oh my God. It's 49 pages. And it's a freebie, guys. Hold on. So yeah. These I've considered, like I might print them just to make card fronts. This one right there. Yeah, I have 3 bins of Christmas paper. So if I never bought any more, but that purple one I didn't mind downloading because it was it's more winter, not just Christmas. Also it's purple. And I am doing the Junk Journal January UK, and she has already sent us a preview. Well, actually we can print it, but sent us the kit for that, and it is gorgeous. She's the same one that made the kit, that Bee Happy Stationary, the one that I did the flip through just at the beginning of this video. And it is more cute animals. That's all I'm going to say for now, because I think she releases it next week. I'm dying to share it, but I cannot. Oh yeah, pockets, envelope. I've downloaded most of them. I think I've missed the last 2 days because life was lifing. You know, yesterday I ran all over town attempting to pay bills and finding out that people take entire days off to do luncheons when they only work 30-hour work weeks in the first place. And I had to get the permit to put power at my own property, like property we already have power at, but we just want another second meter. So I was at the courthouse and adulting. Uh-oh, I said the word. I have to give Tina money again. I'm doing it again. I'm trying to cut fine details with my big scissors. $5. I don't think so. You're going to have to come get it. And then that's way more gas than $5. And then I'll bake you cookies and you'll forget I owe you money. But first you have to pet all of the dogs and then, I did this week treat myself to a tiny little space heater that's under my desk so my feet don't freeze while I'm out here on the sun porch crafting with you guys. Because it's a 3 seasons room and we're in the 4th season, so it's not that warm. Anna Marie, we've been partying without you, girl. Anna Marie sent me a picture the other day, and it was of a horse that was on something she had seen because she's in Norway, and it's actually the sire of the baby horse I sent her and told her I wanted to kidnap because it was a Norwegian fjord. So I shared it with the breeder and told her that it was funny that it's a small world. Come on, little. I'm always afraid when when your glue doesn't first come out, especially since I'm used to the glue press, that I'm going to squeeze and it's going to go, all of the glue is going to come out. You looked at it, now you've got all the horse stuff on your, especially if you start looking at fjords, boy, it will line you right up with fjords. I look at thoroughbreds a lot because, I mean, I have a nab strepper, but I also have most of my horses are thoroughbreds or thoroughbred crosses. And so therefore, and have been for years, I get a lot of stuff with thoroughbreds on it. I don't mind because they're pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's way worse things to have accidentally. My favorite was I had some friend who used to get like offended if stuff showed up on her Facebook wall. And so she'd get some sort of like werewolf PORN book or something, like a naughty book, like a romance novel, but that's that creepy werewolf stuff that I don't understand, but whatever, float your boat, people, just don't tell me about it. But she would screenshot them and share and be like, why are they sending me this? And every time you screenshot that crap, Facebook knows. So she just was constantly in it. And then it doesn't get less weird, like, if you went from looking up Norwegian fjords to like Norwegian fjords with funny looking noses, it wouldn't get less weird. Just don't do it. But, Norwegian fjords are cute. Yeah. Screenshotting is not the way to get YouTube to leave you alone, Facebook or any place to leave you alone. Because it recognizes that as an acknowledgement of the thing. That's it. Okay. I'm going back to my glue press. I was trying to be lazy and not dig it out. I can't. I am no longer capable of using glue without it. So I think that first one, if I make more of these, I'm going to make almost all of the candy cane ones because what I'm noticing is the rest of them, there is no, all the decoration is, aside from this one having the poinsettias, there's no decoration on the lid, and this one definitely has more oomph. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. Werewolf. I don't get the werewolf romance thing. Oh my gosh. I just set it on top of my candy cane. Luckily it didn't stick. It just thought about it for a second. All right. Have we got glue on Jackie yet? She still has her plastic cover on her, but yeah, I find the whole alpha, like when that stuff, I don't know that it would be, first of all, like romance novels stopped entertaining me like when I was in my 20s and had met real humans. And I was like, these guys, men are not like romance novels. But I also am not somebody who would be like, somebody acting like an alpha male would not be an attractive trait to me. Like I said, I'm not trying to yuck your yum. I don't understand it. And partially because I've seen how dogs behave and I wouldn't want to be part of their society. Like there's too much, butt sniffing and whatnot. Yeah. So I would say, and I don't mean this to be negative, but these ones are kind of boring compared to the candy cane one. So when I print more, I will probably print all the candy because it's not like I'm giving 3 of them to the same person. I would be giving 1 to each person. So I think these, for like my mother and father-in-law, this will be their ornament for the year. You had a Christmas party for... I will probably run to the store later and get something to make because I do not feel like peopling out in public tonight. Oh, I didn't finish trimming this guy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The other day when Pam recommended that we follow her niece and she does that beauty stuff, I was like, I cannot in good faith do that because I don't want to get more what did I buy at Ulta Beauty videos. Like, so I followed, but I did not like any videos because I do not. Like I was watching Xena one night and she was talking about, now I don't even remember what they call them, but the spoolies, the things you put your mascara on with, apparently they're called spoolies. And I asked what was a spoolie and they thought it was hilarious. I didn't know. And I'm like, well, if they made them for horses, I would know probably what it was. I bet you don't know what a surcingle is either. So I don't feel bad about not knowing that. It's just not my cup of tea. Even though my dad sent me to modeling school when I was 12, hoping that it would make me more girly. I don't think so. I think it just influenced the other girls there to be more tomboys. Right? Horses would not like werewolves. The funny thing is, so who really doesn't like the dogs here at my house? Ember thinks she's a dog because she was handled so much and she played with Tommy when she was little because we didn't have any other baby horses here. But my sheep, the ram, hates the dogs, but he's not very scary. So he stomps his feet and then the dogs just look at him like he's stupid. And then he's very offended that they're not afraid. So Keith is as unnecessarily cute as sheep go. Not quite as cute as those shaggy sheep with the black face, the black nose. Oh, I forget what they're called, but they're cute. Okay, my finger is too fat for that. Use the bone folder for what it's for. Juju's glad she's hiding in the, Cindy's glad she's hiding in the loft while we're talking about werewolf romance novels. I am going to make this sign shiny. So I will actually probably give this one to my husband's grandma, Kathy, because she loves gingerbread man. I made like an entire set of Christmas cards for her with gingerbread men in the little jar on the fronts of the cards. I haven't gotten close to running this out, but I've used a lot of this so far Christmas. So I just looked up at the werewolf horse crossover thing and just pictured, what's the animal that's half human and half centaurs? So what if that human half became a werewolf and it kept changing and scaring the shit out of the horse half? Xena is the warrior princess, yes. I like it better with it shiny. So Tina, what have you done with that kit that you have from Ink and Page? Hi, Brenda. I read Dean Koontz and Scary Stuff, which the weirdest thing that I read most recently was I bought the series of unfortunate events, one of the series of unfortunate big events books, because it was a hardback book that was about that thick and it was an orange binding, and I thought it would make a cool Halloween journal. Well, I got it home and then I realized that I had watched some of the movies, so I may as well also read some of the books. And so then I ended up reading the books and not ever coming around to what I was supposed to do. I don't know who Lisa Jackson is. I'll have to look that up. There was a time where I could not even kind of listen to audiobooks, but I have gotten better and I try to do that sometimes. But to be honest, I just spend most of my life watching and listening to YouTube now. Like far more time than I should admit. So this came with Pretty Peacock. Was it Pretty Peacock or Shaded Spruce? I just had the directions, guys. What is wrong with my brain? Whispers of Fate. Christmas Wishes Kit. So it's got to be Pretty Peacock, not Shaded Spruce. Yes. When I get my kits, I take these out and just go and throw them in my drawer. Fantasy martial arts. Holy crap. The big drafties are very chill usually. Rain was half Percheron. The mare that I lost was half Percheron. So I am going to attempt to stamp anything that needs stamped before we so I don't have to stamp and then come back again. So we're going to stamp Merry on 3 and Christmas Wishes on the 2. Is there only one of those? Okay, there has to be a whole other sheet of these. This one's not stuck together. Haha. So I'm doing a kit because A, I bought some kits to do, and B, it's a quick way for me to make, I make cards both for family, friends, and like donate some to the nursing home. So it is a quick way for me to make cards that look fun and interesting without me having to come up with a design or, burn extra brain cells. And I love the kits for, you get the stamp and the ink pad. And in a lot of cases, what you pay for the kit, especially if you wait till they're on sale or if you're a demo, it's not a big stamp kit set, but it's, may whatever brings you love and joy be yours this season and throughout the new year. It's a nice little set. So if you're traveling or whatever, and they always come with a little backer board so that theoretically, no matter where you are, you could sit someplace with this in your lap and and it comes with all the adhesives and all of the stuff. And I just about stuck stuff on my candy cane again. This candy cane needs to go up here, out of harm's way. You go up here out of harm's way. I am a hazard. Here, stamp block. Anybody else have preferred stamp blocks? Like I have one that's round and it's one of my very favorites. Not big enough. And I forget what number this is, what letter this is, but it's one of my favorites. Stamp block. The little acrylic. And this has mica flakes on it. It's fine. I speak Hoosier, so it sounds rough probably. Which special? They, a couple times a year, they do free shipping. They're right now doing a product of the month where if you spend $75, you get like a pack of paper for $5 and you only can get it once. And when it runs out, it runs out. Oh, you mean the joining one? They have never done one that good. I'm going to say it was pretty successful, so they might do it again. They do, it's always like $99 for $100 and something worth of stuff, plus the free shipping. But it's never, that's the best it's ever been as far as I can see. Like I've looked way back and people who've been demos for years say so. That's the best it's ever been. They may do it again. It'll just depend. I know they got more people than they expected because they actually ran out of the business supply kits and had to send them to people late. So I will definitely let you know. Oh yeah, the paper pumpkin kits are currently, if you prepay, so like you sign up and you pay for 3 months, it's a percentage off. And if you're a demo, then you get your percentage off too. And it ends up being a heck of a deal. And I'm actually probably going to do it. Do we have till Monday? I just haven't had the money in the bank because, I paid for 300 bales of hay, and that's pretty much when I do that. It always, there's a few weeks where I'm like, well, that's nice, but I'm not buying that. Okay, so I never remember to do this, but if you lay your stamp down and then put it on, instead of trying to put it on yourself, it's straighter than, you know how it'll go whoop? That's how it always works for me. Right? Yeah, and luckily I buy hay from the, okay, I didn't clean my stamp. So if you don't know this, technically you should clean all your new stamps when you get them. Or people condition them all different ways. One of the ways is like you take an eraser to it or something, but it will pool up and be weird. A lot of times I'll just do this, and then once I've used it a couple, like, now it's clean. Also, hold on, close this drawer. Oh, and if you're a demo, you should buy this kit. And if you're not, from yourself, and if you're not, you should buy it. It's in the annual catalog, so we'll have it for a little while longer, but this is my all-time favorite, and it was the million sales thing for Julie Davison, and it is all big sentiments that go on quick and make cards look really nice. But this would be, I would say, of the stamp sets I've bought, this one gets the most use. Because it's not seasonal necessarily. It's not, specific. It's just nice. Oh, and I use this is a piece of fun foam glued onto a Dollar Tree cutting block is how I, shipping is so much from some. Oh my God. That's insane. I literally joked about, like, if I could get enough sales, I could justify getting my, like, just travel and bring people crap, like, because some of the costs of that, like, I wanted the Tracy Fox stamps, and she doesn't even sell them to the US because between the tariffs and the shipping costs, it was going to be, not acceptable. Yeah. Between Brexit and then I don't know if the tariffs are on or off. I don't keep track. That's why I craft. This is head down, look at paper. But I know I have friends in the UK, and, like, I have asked, I'm like, hey, if somebody's coming to visit, bring me some Tracy Fox stamps, because she came out with a series of stamp sets and then couldn't sell them here. So I am doing all the stamping at once because I find, if not, first of all, I will definitely lose some of this stuff. If you get these little minis, they are actually a felt pad and not the foam pad. So you'll see that I'm twisting this on there. That works with these. Do not do it with your regular Stampin' Up! Pads if you have them, because they are foam, and so they're soft. So, like, you just push it on and it's perfect. These have kind of a top that is, got a texture. So that helps it, like a little eighth of a turn when I put it on. But I would not want to do that if this was a foam pad. This is one of my all-time favorite colors, this pretty peacock. It's like a tealy blue. Yeah, well, it's weird, like, stuff getting shipped to us. That's basically, the tariffs had just went into effect when Tracy released her stuff, and she's just like, I'm not going to fight with it. I'm just not going to release it to the US. And that's a real shame because, I would say half of her people are followers are in the US, and like none of us did anything. We just want our stamps. And I know Australia, like you can't get as much of the paper rose papers because they have like a large businesses can't ship to the US because of, I don't remember. That may have also stopped. Again, I lost track, but I was very sad because like one year at Christmas, that's what I asked for my grandma, Kathy. She ordered me a bunch of stuff off of Paper Rose because they will ship to the US. Oh yeah, and it's a big sentiment fire horse. So they're chunky and give you a good, like when you're trying to make a card and you're not sure what to put on it, it gives a big impact. Let me set these to the side. Ugh, seriously. Trying not to get stuff all over everything, and then I can't pick stuff up because I'm trying not to touch the ink. Putting them all on my keyboard so I cannot lose them. Okay, knock on wood. I should not be able to lose them. But this Mary, I like this enough that I would use this outside this kit a lot. Like that's something I can definitely throw on any card. Firehorse, you should check out Tracy Fox's newest kit. It has your guys' big red post box in it. I think it's adorable. I'm not sure why I feel the need to line those up like that, but I do. Yeah, sometimes it's not worth, I can't imagine it being worth the headache. If I was a small business trying to do that kind of thing, it wouldn't be worth it to me, to have to raise people's prices and then you get yelled at for it when it's not something you could control. No, thank you. Like it'd be a little bit like if they decided to say you have to have a rabies vaccine every month and I had to be the person policing it for grooming dogs. I'd be out. There was a big discussion at one point about, so it was a place like PetSmart a dog had escaped out of like a big corporate place and had been injured. And there was a whole bunch of stuff with the people had sued, and then the court, dogs are property. And everybody was like, I think dogs should be treated like they're people. And I'm like, that gives a whole new problem because then it have the right to tell me I can't trim its toenails because it doesn't like it and yada, yada. And somebody said something about it. I said, while I would like it to be, you could get in more trouble for hurting an animal than you currently can. I don't want to see that happen because I would just retire, because the minute somebody could be like, my dog felt assaulted because you did its anal glands, out. eBay's taking care of the international selling. Does it still impact does it still impact the cost though, or have they found a workaround? Because that's what I was wondering. Is it like, there's generally a workaround. You just have to find somebody with enough knowledge and of law to figure it out. But usually it's I pushed too hard. I'm glad they always give a few extras of these because I managed to get ink in between there and push too hard. Yeah, that's one of the things I like. These kits are nice because they tend to be like kind of classy you know, well done, well made. Sometimes, you know, they sometimes have something kind of silly or whatever. I try to watch if these, I'm almost positive this one was a kit that I had to select and not a paper pumpkin. It's called Christmas Wishes. Tracy Fox. She is also a Brit. I don't think she's in London. I forget where she says she's from. I lose track of stuff like that. Okay. So does anybody else have one of those things you're supposed to clean your stamp with and never can find it? It has a drawer it's supposed to live in, but it's not there. All right. Everyone look away while I use my jeans to wipe off my stamp. You know you're an artist when your jeans have ink stains on them. You just don't use yours. I never had one, and then I have one, and it's literally, I put it in a little box, and it's supposed to stay in with my ink daubers and stuff. It's not in there. Hold on. Hey, it's right here. I happened to look to the side, and it was over there. All right, people. Where did I put it? I also have a box that when I'm done with this kit, I have a box for small stamps. I will make a little envelope for this. Use this. I will laminate this. I did a video on how I laminate these. And then I will put it in that box with small stamps. I also have Christmas stamps. So this one may go in the Christmas stamps box instead of just the small stamps. I have all the Marys done. Now, the question is, can we do Christmas wishes all at once, or should I not even attempt it? Ow! I just whacked my fingernail. Now, this is where it might behoove me to have kept the little thing these come in and use my stamp positioner, but that's not going to happen, guys. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, right, guys? Oh, that's nice. I haven't ever sold anything on eBay. I sell things on Marketplace from time to time, but I find people tedious enough that I basically just end up not selling stuff. Not like I hate humans, not like that. I don't know how to say that doesn't sound horrible, but you know what I'm talking about, where you list something, you're like, you know, kitchen cabinets 24 inches tall, and somebody messages, how tall are they? And then while looking at a picture of them, say, what color are they? Bye, Julia. Hugs to you and your daughter. I'm glad you get to escape to hang out with us some. I mean, even if you don't escape the building, you still get the mental escape. All right, let's pretend I actually follow the guidelines, and I'm going to say that and then not be able to find my eraser in order to do this. I know I have an open eraser. I do not want to open another one, but whatever. I got a whole box of these white erasers at Goodwill. So this is what apparently some people do to prep their stamps. Okay, well, I know now why I don't do it. It feels like nails on a chalkboard. So nope. Nopety nope. Yeah, I selling stuff to people is a bit much. So stamp off. That's my advice. Make the first stamp on something you don't care about. That way, if it is bad, it isn't on something you do care about. That's a pretty font. I'll send you an eraser. Okay. You better send me a note because I won't remember that you said that. That looks way far apart when it's not on this label. Let's see if it pays off me trying to do it all at once, one fell swoop. Ooh, it's pretty. That's funny, Brenda. I have I wouldn't be happy if I got paint on this shirt, so I would probably want to flip it inside, but it's just because it's not cute. But it's funny. It's from a place called Uranus Fudge Factory here. And if you don't know what crop dusting is, I don't know. I might have to leave it to Tina to explain it to y'all. So you go in this place and it's like you walk in the front door and they're like, welcome to Uranus, feel free to poke around. So it's completely inappropriate and hilarious, and like all the signs on the building are funny and they're like that. And so I have this one, and then I have one that's Uranus Fire Department. And there's like Uranus dump truck. And what they say on the back is even funnier in all of them. So that exactly. And that's what they will say, like when you go to get the fudge, they'll say, how much fudge do you want packed today? Kind of thing. Like they have it whole pattern down. It's, yeah. It is it's up by Anderson, by the race track in Indiana. There's one, there's one in Illinois or Missouri, and it was so popular that they opened another one here. It's like, it would be hilarious to work there just to be a smart aleck all day and get paid for it. Yeah, it's something like when Uranus is hot. I forget. Like I'll have to see if I can look it up. They all have funny sayings on them, and it's bad that I'm literally sitting here thinking that I need to see what I forget what this one says on the back. Oh my gosh. Google does not want me searching this. Yeah, so it's Anderson, Indiana. They have a Uranus Gas and Lube shirt. Let's see what we can find. T-shirts. Uranus Fire Department. When Uranus is hot, we come real quick. Hi, Stacy May. Stacy May just rolled in while we're talking about Uranus. Yeah, look. You can order Uranus, your own Uranus gear online from them. You have to have a well-dressed, Uranus needs to be well-dressed. So I had initially bought this shirt, the one I'm wearing, for my son, and then he gained like 20 pounds, so it doesn't fit him. So it's mine now. All right, people, did you see where I set my stamp backgrounds? This is why I like to put this. I like to laminate this because clear goes missing too easily. So I assume this is for the inside of the cards. I'm not stamping that right this moment. I'll do that after. Put this like that. Where is for sale? I'm going to put it in the box, guys. When I ask where the hell I put it, heck, I put it. That's where it is. Hi, Thunder. All right. Directions. We're just putting kits together, Thunder. Because we're apparently, well, I don't know about everybody else. Uh-oh. There's a whole nother thing we have to stamp. I lied, guys. Just kidding. How many of those do we make? There's a lot more stamping. Huh. All right. May whatever. I'm very confused. Not that that's news. So does this go on the inside of all the cards? It looks like that may be the case. Or at least, yeah, all the cards have this on the inside, which I have to find. That's not it. So it's just on the inside of that card. That's why. So card number 1 has that one. Card number 2 has the one with the leaves. Boop it like you mean it. I'm going to go ahead and fold these other ones since we're here folding things. This is going to definitely be, I need to pay attention to which way these face. Because the inside has that. Like when we go to put the fronts on, we got to pay attention. Look at Tina taking care of business over there. Putting you guys in line when she can't even behave. Okay, so we're just adding lines to this part. I was confused by why it was showing this. It was showing the size of the, it's the small stamp that we have to use. And we're putting, it looks like on both of them, lines on the leaves. So I'm going to do all of them. That's where if we can see if I can line anything up or not. And we have to put the words in. So let's do the words first. I just said I was going to do the words first and started to not do it, guys. You okay, Tommy? What's wrong, Bubba? What are you doing? Yeah, you're wagging your butt at me? You tell everybody hi? He's not a talker. He's just smiling at you guys. It's not really something I can show you on, you know. Tommy, can you come up? Can you come up? Let's see if we can get you. Is a boy? Is him a boy? Him is a boy. Yes. Show them your smile. Show them your smile. Yeah, so scary. Sorry, guys. Took you on a ride. He's all teeths, that guy. Okay. And the words. It is 5:52. So what Tommy is saying is, Mom, is it dinner time yet? So now he's going to go down and see if he can wake the other dogs up so that they'll wake Tom up. So he can get fed. So we're just stamping this. Now, when you have your own kit like stuff, you can use other colors. I'm just going to use what came with the kit. He is pretty adorable, but I might be biased. It's hard to, when he does the smiley thing, he gets too excited. So it's hard to get a picture or a video of it because he's very excited. You're like, why am I blue? That either shows that I trust you or I have bad taste, Anna Marie. You and Tina can compete to see who out moderates who. Let's see if I can stay in the lines. I did not. Artistic license, right, guys? That goes to a family member I don't like as much. One of you guys ends up with this card and be like, that hoe. She sent me the one she didn't like. All right, I'm going to do it this way so I can see. Excuse my cranium if it gets in the way. Oh, that was 80% better. I don't get too flustered about it, Tina. You know, with the crap we've dealt with kids and grandkids and stuff, if this is what gets you, if this you get upset and cry about this, you need to go take a nap or something. Tommy, are you crying now? For anybody who's worried about him, not only did he have breakfast, but he ate lunch with me. I do like this. This may be going on the center of a lot of my cards. And the little leafies are nice too. Also a secret, if, say, I was really upset by how that inside turned out, take another white piece of paper and cover it up. Thanks, Ellen. It might mean you need to get out more, but I appreciate it. I'm just kidding, by the way. Now I overcorrected. Came too far the other way. I actually don't mind that little bit off because it looks like, when people watercolor a little bit. Did you finish your friendship journal, or are you still working on it? That was so pretty. You have baked the most beautiful stuff. Your cover the other day made me think I was going to look through. I need to make a cover for my junk journal January. And so I've been thinking of all the stuff I have around and what particular thing I'm going to turn into a cover, because I would like it to be a cool cover this year. And I have some fabric that it has horses and barns and snow, but they just have enough stuff on them that make it pretty obvious it's meant to be Christmas. So can't just stop by and say hello. Over here, we're talking about Uranus. We're talking about my ponies. Tommy, did you get to see Tommy smile? There is a place here, Thunder, in Indiana, where Debbie and I live, that's called Uranus Fudge Factory. And so it's just a play on the, you may not get the play on words with the foreign language thing. Anus being butt, but Uranus being the planet. So Uranus means your butt, more specifically your butthole. And so the planet Uranus becomes Uranus, and it becomes a big joke. And we're toddlers, so we go with it. I'll have to, after I stamp these, I will grab that. Well, actually I won't. If I walk out of here, Tommy will be sure I was being fed. They're wearing like wreaths with red bows is the problem with the fabric for being just for, all seasons. I actually think I did a pretty good job on that one. Also, a secret you may not know, although this one I didn't stamp. If you had stamped this and then gone back over it, our ink is water-based, so you could literally use water and spread it out. Also, you could take some of this color ink, which is, I believe, Mossy Meadow or Olive, and fill it in. She was working on it on her live too, Anna Marie. You'll have to check out her live. She showed her a journal she had done with stuff that she got like 10 years ago. Oh, I was going to ask you, Thunder. You mentioned Bohemian Crafting. That is that's on the top this time. Threw me off. And Eva, and I used to watch her, but it's sort of like Kate, like I watch a lot of smaller channels now, and I have not, but she had been having health problems. Is she okay? She doing all right? I mean, I should go to her channel and check, but right now that isn't happening, and I wanted to ask because she seemed like a super sweet human being. Unlike some of us, Tina. Okay, I'm going to put these on the other side so I don't accidentally use the wrong ones for the wrong stamps. You don't know if she's okay or yeah. Has she not been posting or anything? Maybe that's why I haven't seen her, is that she hasn't posted anything new. Because, yeah, I think she'd moved in with her son or something like that and hadn't been well. I don't know. It's hard to keep track. It's Bohemian Crafting was the name, was the name of her channel. And Thunder was talking about a gift she'd gotten from her. And it made me remember that I hadn't seen her in a while. And that when I had seen her, she hadn't been well. So then I was worried about somebody I hadn't talked to or seen for ages, because that's the way my brain works. When it works. Her sons live with her. Is she doing okay, Tina? Where did I set my phone? In here. See what happens. Uh-oh. She posted 3 days ago, so she's good. Okay. Whew. Thank you, Tina. I need like a hidden camera to get Tommy's real smile, like when he doesn't like a body cam kind of thing, because he does it for me all the time. But on command, he's not as good at it as he could be. Slacker. There, Anna Marie. She shared the. You would have heard people call stuff like boho chic or whatever, and it's short for bohemian. So I don't know how that would translate. Good night, Firehorse. Get some rest. We have so much. This kit has a lot. Some of the stamps, the sets do not have this much. Okay, so I just did a thing that was really not great. I'm stamping off of the edge here. So I am going to slide this up and push it down again and hope that I didn't jack it completely up. Ta-da! If you guys hadn't seen it, we couldn't prove it happened. I did it for the learning experience, everyone. Bye, Thunder. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I'm sure I can't imagine. I can barely, when I have to try to spell something in Spanish, I suck at it. It's exactly. We saw nothing. I always think of the penguins from Madagascar, that movie, when somebody says you saw nothing, because my kids were of an age when that came out that we watched that several times. Also, let's be honest, I would watch it without any kids because it's funny. All right, those are stamped. I think some of our leafies we have to stamp. Oh my God, I'm going to have to take up drinking, guys. So we have these double leaves. I'm just doing these in order so that I don't lose track. Oh, you're still here. Sorry. I don't ever want to be like, I try not to miss when people come and go. That way I'm not being impolite, but also I know that I get super focused sometimes. Well, not very often. Mostly I'm just not focused at all. What did she say that wasn't appropriate? Or that the word Hoosier was appropriate? It's not. My fault? I'm innocent. I'm not even a little bit. Oh, yes. That as well. I'm not, I may be a few years younger than you, but I definitely watched Hogan's Heroes. But it's, and the funny thing is the Madagascar thing is a take on that, but they did that little hand, like they did, you know, like you saw nothing, like that would work. And it just makes me laugh. I was a little bit younger, but I watched MASH and Hogan's Heroes and all of that. All right. So it looks like on all of these, we are stamping the green bits. So we'll do the small piece on all of these and then go back and do the large piece. Good times? And this is probably going to have to just be a one at a time thing because this feels like a lot of work, but in the end, it's going to look like hand-drawn, hand-painted kind of. I'm trying to decide who I like enough to send these to is the problem. Do you have people that like you don't make cards for because you know they just throw them away? I can't be the only one. That's funny. My aunt used to have a signed thing by Alan Alda. Was on her stairwell, I remember. And when she moved, she may still have it. I haven't been since she moved to the condo, but when she moved to the condo, she donated all her Abraham Lincoln stuff. So I'm assuming she also donated all her that kind of memorabilia as well to, she gave them to museums. Not every, like I got some of my grandma's stuff, but stuff that was not family heirlooms went to museums. What? YouTube won't show your name? Times like this, I feel like I need to get my prescription fixed on my glasses. But it might also be that these are cheap Dollar Tree readers. You don't send nice stuff to people who don't deserve it. Yeah, you know, like I once, it's actually sitting here. I made this laminated traveler's journal to make for like the started a laminated traveler's journal for my husband. And he kind of poo-pooed it. I had just showed him what it would be. I hadn't put craft blanche, tiny one, but still. Look. So I just cut some like crap paper and threw it in there so he could see what it would be. I really jacked up my camera with the Tommy thing, didn't I? Excuse you guys. We're jumping around again. Hold on, everybody, if you get car sick. Mercy. Hold on. I love that you guys just didn't even tell me. You're like, it's fine. We don't need to freaking see. Saw the dog. Everybody's happy now. How are you this messed up? You were better before. That's as good as we're getting right now. Anyway, so I made this. It's a laminated journal. That's a random piece of paper that I put in there. And he sort of went, okay. So I never finished it because I'm not making it and giving it to him if he's not gonna appreciate it. Put on your glasses and find them, Tina. See, mine, I'm lucky because my username is my name. But a lot of people aren't as lucky. And some people, it's literally that they don't want people to know their real names. And that's also fine. There's sometimes people come in and that's what I ask them, like, do you mind telling us your name? Because if you do mind, we're not going to force you. We might shun you. Not really. What's up, Brenda? You'd been quiet for a while. Are you finding new authors? I do not know how my husband was off work today. And so I think he slept while I was at work. And then I came home and he let the dogs out, the dogs that are downstairs, not with me. We have a few that don't play well with others. So we keep them separated. And he went back to sleep and has been down there asleep. So I'd lose my mind. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to look that up. Paper Rose has gorgeous. I have some Paper Rose ones from last year. The problem is I don't remember who all I made cards with them for. You know, like I used it, so I don't want to send people cards from the same paper pack. But this is what I have left from last year. I did they just have gorgeous papers. But I also did an Australian Christmas one, and some of the papers were so pretty I framed them. You know I'm going to have to look that up now. Oh, did you find your other goodies in your package, Jess, besides the missing item? Was the girly stuff girly enough? I think we're officially done with this stamp. I'm going to leave it on just in case, but next is the big leaf. I need to come up with some new joke material for this amount of stamping. And we not only have to stamp these, but all of these have the big leaves on them. We have to stamp those too. At least I'm getting better at lining it up, so I'm being slightly more efficient. Of course, this one's a new one, so You'll see how I am at lining this one up. I do have to say, I might leave this in my regular small stamp kit, not just the Christmas one, because these leaves are not, they are not just Christmassy, and they would be nice on stuff. Not that I have a shortage of stamps of any kind. Brenda, were you here earlier when I got my new, opened my new stamps? By the way, since we were talking about stamping. Ponies. I wish there was a way for you guys to share, like, so that you could share a picture of those, the Merry and Bright, because now I'm nosy and I hate that when that happens. Awesome. That's helpful. Then I won't forget, because, but also I will be like, I promise not to buy any more Christmas paper. Because after this kit, then I need to use my graphic 45 Christmas paper, and then I have like 3 different kinds of paper that I want to use for the rest of my cards. I only used one of the 3 sets of Mente papers that I got. Oh, it is, isn't it? I better freaking hustle. Oh my gosh, we're doing December. I don't even know what day. What are we on today? What else are we need to be working on? We're all slackers. Oh wait, that's just me. Never mind. Yeah, I'm still coming to terms with the Discord already right now. So does that mean is it that all, because it's been saying that for a while, that all the group chats are going to go away, like, because I'm on other stuff and all of those, they're just all going to go away now. Every now and then I think, I wish I could just retire and just craft. And then I think, I wonder if it would lose its luster. Like if at some point then you'd go, this isn't as fun as it was when I was doing it for fun. I don't know that that's the case, because I've been grooming for 32 years and I still love that moment when people show up and they're excited, especially like a first time haircut for a puppy or something. Still love it. Or like if I get to go to the shelter or something and take a dog who is, in really rough shape, and then turn it into something special. You guys relocated him, or the neighborhood has, or I don't know what happened to the guy. Our local town had a little homeless guy named Phil, and he had some people would give him stuff and then he'd just be carrying it around in a wagon, and like he had serious. So one winter, like they put him up in a hotel room and he got kicked out of the hotel for hoarding in the hotel room, and it was awful. Oh, they put him up. Well, it's better than what it could be. See, now you've posted that, Tina, and I cannot look at it because I am trying to stamp. To stamp the perpetual stamp. So I have to admit to being a kind of an instant gratification kind of crafter. And this is one of those things where when it's done, it will have been worth it. But like this can be kind of hard for me. And one of the reasons I usually choose kits is that they're faster than this. If I was doing it by myself, I might do one. Like if I didn't have a time schedule to get cards done, because I have to mail them and stuff, I would probably do one of the cards and then do the rest. So in the long run, this is the best choice, but does not. I like that instant. Night, Juju. Set your freaking alarm, girl. Number 700. I'm getting good at lining it up finally. I do have to say, I really do like how it looks stamped. And I don't know that I would have ever thought to use this teal over top of that mossy meadow green, but I like it. Son of a biscuit eater. So, Debbie, does your roommate think you're crazy picking up random craft items from a stranger online? I just heard the back door open, which means Tom may be letting dogs out, which means chaos may ensue shortly. It should be a picture of my horse on my profile. If you sent it, it should be myself and my horse, I believe. Yeah, I've decided it's kind of hard for me to explain to my kids how they can't be like meeting people online is dangerous. But like I literally met their dad online, which should be a cautionary tale. Yep. He's feeding the downstairs dogs, which means any minute Tommy will be back in here saying cuss words. We were at my daughter's doctor's office the other day, and when I said we have downstairs dogs, he was very confused. So, but I do rescue. Yes, on Facebook. It's a picture of me. I had my horse that passed away was a white horse. And so it's me and her, I believe, is my profile picture right now. Oh my gosh, there are so many of these. But I rescue dogs, which means we get dogs with all sorts of personalities and histories and whatnot. So that means sometimes they don't play well with others. But like literally one of my very best friends who lives in Maine I met her through like a similar, we had a grooming, it would have been like the Discord, like the old messenger boards of the day for dog grooming. And we met and we were both talking about getting certified. So we actually studied together, went to our physical certifications together in Houston, Texas, and like, sight unseen, basically stayed in hotel rooms together. But it wasn't like we talked once and then met. And I also wasn't a 14-year-old girl meeting a dude. So I try to teach the kids to be safe, but sometimes it is hard when I'm here talking to strangers online. This many left to stamp, guys. We can do it. Othello wolfs his food loud enough I can hear him wolfing his food down there. I am going to try the double stamp and see if the shadow stamp is enough, because it's not. Let's not do that the second time. It's not bad, but I cannot do that again. So currently, while scoring, if I was scoring this kit, I would give it a 7 because it's pretty. But this has been more work than I am accustomed to doing on a kit. But if I was, I don't know, maybe if I was sitting here not also feeling like you guys are bored shitless, I would be like, this was a good, way to spend mindless time. Because sometimes that's good. So I am not really ready for Christmas because the whole Thanksgiving being a week late has really screwed up my game. The kids were at the weekend of, so last weekend they were at Tom's parents' house. They just stayed there after Thanksgiving. They go there every other weekend, unless they're in trouble for something. Well, that sucks, Brenda. Sometimes that's like they got clipped too short or whatever. But unfortunately, as with anything, there are not the greatest of people. And I am self-employed, and I have one other groomer and my sister. And so your dog always sees the same person. And if for some reason, like today, I did one of Beth's bath and brush dogs because she was going to be out of town. The people were told that was the deal. And Jax knew me because I'm there when Jax is there. But like, it is important that dogs have consistency with their groomers. And what amazes me though is still people call and ask, the first question they ask, which it's fair, is how much. And they don't ever ask, what's your experience. And like, I think you're a groomer being nice. There was another groomer in town that I always said to people, I don't think she does the best haircuts ever, but if you can't take the dog to me, take it to her, because I know she's kind to the dogs. So, and sometimes it's just somebody's affect. They yell too much, or they don't understand that if you have kind of a shy natured dog, all of my dogs have different personalities, and what I can get away with, like I could easily raise my voice all day at Chopper, even before he was deaf, and he would never get his feelings hurt. But Tommy, nope, can't raise your voice at him. That's if you need him to do something, all you have to do is sound disappointed. So some people shouldn't work with humans or animals. And definitely not both. Hiring groomers is like, when I am done grooming, I'll probably never have anybody to replace me, because finding somebody who wants to show up, do the work, it's not always an easy job, can be kind even when the dog is upset. And, like today I did an ancient dog that I've been grooming since he was a puppy, and he tries to bite me the whole time because with his senility, he thinks I'm hurting him. So, but being impatient with him or upset with him doesn't help him or me. I don't think I've ever thought I was going to run out of ink. Yes, I have always said that you should have to turn in your testicles and ovaries at birth, and you get them back after you pass a test. Lots of people wouldn't get them back. Because it's a lot. And so the owner of the dog today, the little ancient dog, she came in and she's, grateful that I still work with him. And she knows he's not well. And I think she's basically waiting for her kids to come home. They're in college, come home for Christmas to say goodbye. And so, we talked for a while today, but she is a counselor at a high school. And when I inherited my children, their story is so familiar to her that she's like, I have more kids at school, that have bad home lives than I have good anymore. And that's terrifying. We're getting close, guys. Not sure what we're mad about downstairs, but I'm impressed that Tommy's not having a complete fit. If I had to guess, he's standing at the top of the stairs hoping that Tom will decide to feed them as well. And the horses, usually in the summer, I would be feeding them now, but in the winter, they get hay 3 times a day. So I try to spread it out for them because it's cold. My guess, Brenda, then from the sounds of that, is that it was somebody who, when she fought them, they fought back, and she regressed into, and like, you can't do that. You just also, some groomers don't understand that, like, you need to move your body to work with them, not necessarily, like, their legs don't go all the way up. So if they're fighting you, it might be because it hurts. So adjust where you're, it isn't like where I can turn this paper. I would have to, if I couldn't turn the paper because it hurt, I would have to turn the stamp. And so sometimes we have to work around it, which is why I'm 51 and I've already started cutting back on any dogs that weigh over like 65 pounds because I physically can't, work around. Like, if they can't lift their leg, I sure as heck can't. So did you let whoever owns the shop know that the dog had a bad experience with the new groomer? Because as an owner, I would definitely want to know. Or was it a corporate shop? I mean, sometimes they still want to know, but it's definitely a different vibe. Yeah, earlier this week, I was grooming a dog while I was listening to one of Michelle's lives, and I said something about the dog that I did, and I don't take a lot of new clients because my regulars stay booked, and it was a poodle that was underweight and all sorts of stuff, and it was not the greatest of days, and I remembered why I don't take new clients. Referrals only. Because back when I was young and first starting out, you got all the, the people who didn't already have a groomer who had been fired from other ones. That's a whole thing. It makes me very sad, though, because, I tell people, not all dogs are going to love us the way, they would love us if we came to their house to play, because getting your anal glands done, awkward. Getting your butt shaved, awkward. Oh, yeah. That's really weird. Did they tell you were going to have a different groomer? Because that's the other part of that is. Like, we have clients, I'm not sure that they even know which one of us grooms their dogs because Valerie checks them in and out. But I would never groom a dog without saying, hey, Beth's not here today. Did you know that? So, all right. Look at us. We're almost not there. I'll have to look that up. Is it what's it on? Like Netflix or something? I don't have any streaming services anymore because and I just pay for YouTube premium. That's what I do. So we have the 3 Marys. Double bushes. Pairs of those. And then 2 of those. Okay. And I am going to mail some of these, so some of them will not get as many lift ups as they recommend. All right. I just put new tape in this, so I got to get it running. So here. Basically touching. And then we put on 2 Marys. I'll put those on with some dimensionals. Or my dimensionals, where they look dirty, it's where I put ink on the back so I can tell if I've taken the backers off. Not ink, but, well, it is ink, but it's markers. It's alcohol ink. So a Mary over the middle of this. Go away, backer. For what it's worth, my little space heater is not keeping my hands as warm as it is my feet. Oh, is it on here? Girl, you're going to have to send it to me on Messenger because I won't be able to see. I will not remember to come back here. You know this. Act like you don't know me. Trying to make sure I get this high enough. So then we put on 2 of the little just green sprigs. Are they underneath? Yes. And one goes this away. And one goes this away. I do not want it covering up Mary that much, though. There we go. And the 3rd Mary. You guys are fun. I forget where I was. I was on some, oh yeah, Julie Davison, who's a Stampin' Up! Demo, who I love her. And there are some people on her channel that talk, but man, I really have gotten spoiled with how we behave in lives. Okay. Was it worth it, guys? Yeah. It's possible, Brenda. I'd like to not think so. I've worked with a lot of groomers, and generally overt abuse is rare. But people not understanding dog behavior and doing something that makes the dog feel scared or whatever is still abuse. So I am going to throw together one of the other ones, even though it's different. That way we can say we did them all. So 2 of the big ones and 2 of the little ones, the same for this one. It is really hard to tell how they're laid on there on this. Okay, so the reds, they're, oh shit. Hey guys, guess what I did? It's supposed to be horizontal. The question is, can I make it work? Let's see if we can make it work vertical for one, and then we'll, if I have to, I will cut a square right here and I will rotate. See? I did it on purpose as a teaching moment. And by that, I mean, I'm a slacker. So, all right, I'm just going to make up the placement since it's kind of going to be different. So one this way, one this way. Okay, I feel like I will want to snip those if I have to leave it this way. Because I feel like I could snip that off and put it over here and you wouldn't be missing it underneath. But for now, we'll just go with it. Because see how it's completely hidden? Just going to use a fair few of these. Oh my gosh. Why didn't anybody stop me from stamping it wrong? Just kidding, guys. Totally me. So they don't write written directions on these. They do pictures because it is a multilingual, like it's all photographic, but they also do, like, if you get a kit and you're struggling, they Stampin' Up, the people who create it, do when they release a kit, for the most part, somebody has done it, especially the paper pumpkin one. There's literally a monthly. Okay. What do you think? Do I need to flip it or is it good like this? I don't hate it. I don't feel like it's bad enough for me to have to flip. Let's see if we have any Christmas baubles. Snowflakes, stars. Not the yellow. Don't be looking at the yellow, guys. I'm looking at the green. Okay. Uh-oh. Are those what I think? Of course, it doesn't say the color, but I think we can pull those off as, if they're not pretty peacock, they're close enough. Thank you, Thunder. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, everybody. I think that considering I put it on upside down and bass backwards, it didn't go too badly. Now let's see if my putty will work when it's cold. Right. Remember, if I send it to you, not to be like, you screwed that up. It almost overhangs. That's the only issue it would have. So, note to self, pay attention next time, Cheryl. I like it. And I really do like that inside sentiment. And this, I'm not sure if I have any square stamps, but this makes me think that doing this on the inside of cards, like a little inside sentiment with embossing, is cool. Thank you, Debbie. I like it. Pretty satisfied with that as a Christmas card. Okay, let me finish all the first ones. So I think, how many of us here are members that it did overhang? Oh, yeah, I obviously wasn't paying attention. Nice catch. Twisty, twisty. If you have to remove adhesive, a little twist is always your best. I do not. Yeah, I'm going to end up cutting some of those. I don't want them covering up stuff like that. They're no longer overhanging. Kind of want him to stick over the top though. There. Yeah. And I need to find some little red, maybe red jimmies for this one. All right, I'll pay more attention to that one when I make these ones. So a left and a right. I almost did it wrong, guys. Then two of the Marys. That makes me think of people named Mary. My grandma was a Mary Jane. She did not ever go by Mary. So I think for a second, you know, like my grandma, but then she would not have answered to Mary. If you said Mary, she would not have. I want this angle just a little more that way. There we go. Anyway, I am positive that as soon as the member live starts at 7, my husband's going to ask something about dinner, so I'm going to have to. Adulting is stupid. So I'm going to do exactly what I said I was going to do. Cutting these in half so that I can have more control over where they go. That's just your friendly reminder that rules are for suckers. Okay, where's the other little piece? Here, buddy. There you are. Anna Marie. What time is it there? Midnight? Yeah. I like that more because I have a lot more control over where those come out. Okay. Let the barking commence. So do we know, is the live today, is it like a join in kind of live today, or is it just a watch kind of live? Because that definitely changes how much I have to deal with barking dogs. Oh, screw that, Thunder. I am such naturally a night person, but like in the last 5 or 6 years, I've actually been able to go to bed. Like I have to take my kids to school, and I've been sort of on a schedule in a way that has made it so now at bedtime, I am just exhausted, which is a shame because I do my best work at night. But, oh yeah, I like it better after I snipped. Look, whoever gets this gets bonus Tommy DNA. Little piece of Tommy here. Well, actually, that might be Benny that I groomed today here. Cinnamon upside down. You just wanted to do extra. Well, that's so I said earlier I make cards for the nursing home, and so the cards for the nursing home tend to be less like this and more like single layer. Like this is something that I made for craft roulette, but like because it had to be specific things. Something like this where it's the pattern paper does the work and done. Because a lot of them, it's still a handmade card, and I can make the 70 or 80 I need to make instead of just 5 or 6. Also, the people can't, like, if you looked and like this, the one that I put wrong side up, you, without being here or without you having the kit too, you wouldn't know that I made it upside down. You have no way of knowing that because the leaf works wrong side up. That's part of why it didn't tell me. I was like, well, that's weird that it's the opposite side. But I didn't think much of it. Obviously, I didn't think nearly enough of it. Or at all. But I like, I watch videos, and when people edit and then they don't leave in any of their errors, I don't find that appealing because I think that, first of all, sometimes we find cool ways to do things when we jack things up. And second of all, I think, here, I'm pulling this one out to see where I laid those. I think we're realizing we're all human makes it easier to not feel so distressed if you mess up a card because it is just paper. But for some of us, like I'm at a stage in my life where I have more paper than I'll probably ever use. But if you're new to crafting and you have one pack of scrapbook paper and you're trying to make cards and to jack it up, it would feel very much like, what's the point? But if you've seen somebody, mess up and then recover, you go, oh, okay. Like I said, I could absolutely restamp that sentiment on another piece of paper. And just put it in there and people would think it was on purpose. I could even do it like on a different color so it looks even double on purpose. So these cards, I have made, I think, 7 different kinds of cards so far for Christmas. So I have to sit down and figure out. I try to send similar ones. Like if it's to family, I try to send everybody similar ones. So nobody's like, the one she sent me was nicer than the one she sent you. Come over here. You're not even. Come on. Come over here with your friends. Thank you. So yeah, I think these are pretty. Not a little bit wonky, but again, it's funny because even when the cards I made for my clients this year are way less than exciting. They're the little animals. It's just pattern paper, no layers popped up, no anything, no bling, no, the very simplest of a handmade card that you could do. But my clients are over the moon at them because they're not card makers. Although it's possible today Benny's mom asked for my channel. So it's possibly Benny's mom's been listening this whole time. So, but that's fine because we love Benny's mom. And Benny's mom also loves Vincent D'Onofrio, which makes me love her even more. Who knows who Vincent D'Onofrio is and also thinks he's adorable. Are you smiling at Vincent D'Onofrio, Anna Marit? We have 5 minutes, guys. But we got the cards finished, so. Well, we have all of these. After this, I will have all of this one done and a couple more of the other ones to put together. So I'm calling it a win. And it will have made 8 cards. Yes, 8 cards. 8 cards I would call, like relatively fancy, not, simple. He was an actor on a TV show. Well, he's been an actor on several things. Here it was Law and Order Criminal Intent was the thing he was probably the most well known for. He was also in Men in Black 2, I believe. The first one or the second one. He is not at all your standard issue attractive guy, but there's something about him that is just like, I don't know. If you love him, you love him. If you don't, you don't. But one day I said something about it and she was like, I love him so much. So sometimes I would just randomly send her pictures of Vincent D'Onofrio on my phone. You could still make Christmas cards. I'll bring you your crap this week and you can totally still make Christmas cards. I'll see if I have any easy. I have like, I'll get you some of the stuff that I have from like Echo Park has paper packs. I think I showed you some Echo Park paper when we were talking about journaling. And it literally comes with all of this stuff. Like cutouts and stuff. And because it's just gorgeous, all you have to do is slap it together. So don't tell me you can't. He freaked you out in the bug in Men in Black? Yeah, that bug thing was not, it was not a sexy role for sure. I actually did not know it was him for a long time, which was probably best. Because he's such a, like the character is such a trip. Like I said, Debbie, you just throw stuff together. If somebody criticizes the first card you make, that means when you get really good, don't send them a damn card. They're jerkwaters. They don't deserve your time. Your time, your gifts, none of it. They don't deserve it. Lots and lots of people do not deserve the kindness that people give them. So if that's the kind of person they are. Oh, in Full Metal Jacket. I did not see that. There have been some movies that. So when my son was born, I went from like loving scary movies to there was a little bit of the, if it was too scary, it seemed in my brain, I would picture that happening and I couldn't protect my child. So that was problematic for me. So I didn't watch a lot of scary movies during that era. And like, so one of the worst movies I have, so my husband more than once has tried to make me watch Sling Blade. Tina, do you know immediately why I'm saying I hate that movie? So we start to watch it and I go, and this was, we were dating. I go, are you crazy? Do you think I want to watch this? And he goes, why? I said, okay, it's about a guy who is evil, not because he was born evil, but because he was born disabled and people treated him badly. And I have a child with severe disabilities. What part of this makes you think it wouldn't make me feel completely freaked out? Are you making Christmas cards for the first time this year, Thunder? Debbie is brand new to all paper crafting, or are you just going to show the ones that you did your first few years? And she doesn't have much goodies, but like we have, I think Juju has sent her some stuff. I believe Cindy's sending her some stuff. We got her all hooked up. And I live close, so I actually have a couple boxes. I had stuff I was actually going to donate to like the local place that rehomes art stuff. So I have stamps for her, not a ton, but some stamps for her and a couple stamp pads, and she's going to be completely hooked up. Which just reminds me how much I love our community. Somebody tell me when Pam posts our live so I can jump over. I'll say goodbye. And if you don't know what we're talking about, Ginger Cat Lady has a membership, and we have lives every week for the 2 top tiers, I think. Her memberships are completely reasonable also, but if you can't afford them, don't feel bad. It's sort of like I said, I gave up all my streaming services so that I could follow some of my favorite YouTubers and pay for free YouTube. Like I don't have to watch freaking ads. I do YouTube Premium now. Okay, yeah. I like that I cut these up more because see how much more balanced that is? Not that we're not going to cover part of it up anyway, but even the sprigs where they stick out. So this one, come on, fingernail, you can do it. She's live now. Okay, guys. You're all awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you're in Pam's membership, I'll see you over there. If not, I'll see you probably tomorrow because I have more stuff to do, and I'm going to find those shaker bits and those dies. Positive thoughts, guys. All right. Good night. Love y'all.